Hey, greetings and salutations. It's been a minute. Well, what you're watching here is footage that I took shortly after I got my new GoPro camera. This was back in about the beginning of March, and I'm putting the wiring harness and a battery and hooking up some of the essential bits to try to get this dually started. It didn't happen this day. It got shelved for other things. But recently I've been fiddling around with the dually again. I painted the hood and got that back on. I just need to get this thing at least to a point where I can move it under its own power, because it's taking up driveway space. The bed is taking up garage space that needs to get painted and out of here. So fast forward 4 months and here we are in the present day. 4 months later, almost, and not a whole lot more has been done, but I think I'm finally going to get this painted this week, as long as my wax grease remover shows up. I'll get sanding on that tomorrow morning and get it in primer, and I'll be able to paint that. But in the meantime, let me show you what I've got down here. Kind of breezy today, so I'll try to keep this brief. Now I got the hood on, I start putting these plastic bits back in so that it wouldn't get brittle from sun damage. But I had to get a new clutch reservoir, and I still got to bleed the clutch yet. And once I get the clutch bled, then I'll be able to move it in and out of here. I either got to buy or make an upper bracket for the alternator, and this is this entire accessory system was taken from a 1988 big block powered dually crew cab, and it did not have the alternator and the alternator brackets. Thought it did, but the ones that were laying on the ground next to the vehicle weren't actually for that vehicle. They don't fit this one, so they actually fit the newer body style that was on the other side of that 88, the GMT 400 series. Obviously I need to get some air conditioning parts to hook all this stuff back up. This is the original air conditioning compressor that was on the 6.2 diesel that was in this vehicle when I bought it. And obviously a whole bunch of interior work. It's not nearly as bad as it looks, but it's bad enough. But right now I can't start this thing off the key because the neutral safety switch isn't hooked up and the clutch safety switch isn't hooked up, so I need to find those connectors and complete that circuit so that we'll start off the key. So let's give you a brief history of my ownership of this vehicle. I bought the truck in 1999. I drove it for a year. In 2000 I took this truck from Michigan to Montana, Wyoming, South Dakota for a vacation. I put 7,500 miles on this truck in 2 weeks, and it had 6.2 diesel in it with no overdrive, and everywhere I was going was driving 80 miles an hour. And suffice it to say, I hurt the engine. When a month after I got back home, I blew it up, and that's when, in August of 2000, that's when I started a frame-off restoration of this. And almost a year later, it was back on the road, and I was driving it again. It wasn't going to be a daily anymore. It was going to be like a hot rod. I did stupid things like I shaved the antenna, I shaved the door handles and the locks, I shaved the stake pockets. They're still shaved. I shaved the tail lights, I shaved the tailgate. I did all that stuff, and then drove it for a few years in Michigan. Drove it until 2003, and then I restored another dually, a 1993 dually, and I stopped driving this. This went into storage, and I had another 6.2 in this vehicle, and when I put it in storage, I took that engine out and put it in a 4x4 I had, and then the engine that's in there now I rebuilt in 1998. It sat on an engine stand for 3 years. That went into a 72 cab chassis, and I drove that for a few months, and then that went into storage for 3 more years, and then I scrapped that truck out, took this engine, put it in here just so I could move it if I had to. Long story long, this thing sat in Michigan until 2012 when I bought a F-250 7.3 diesel, and I drove that to Michigan and towed this back and started working on it. And in 2012, November of 2012, we found this house. The timing was right and the market was right. We bought this place for a song, and I was working on this at the time, and I had painted the bed and I had painted the front clip, and I hadn't done anything with the cab yet. I paid $200 to have it towed out here from Henderson, and it sat out here for 3 years, and the sun just baked the clear coat off of it. And of course I had the front clip. I took the front clip off of it and put that in the trailer. It's got some dings and damage on it, but you know, like this, stuff like that. The fenders and this were painted at the same time 6 years ago. The cab and the doors were painted 2 years ago. The hood, which is filthy, was painted about a month ago. This is going to get painted in the next few days. I need to get that out of my garage. I've been saying it. I've been looking at some of the old videos that I've produced, and I've been saying that for a couple of years now. It needs to get the hell out of my garage. I need my garage back. I need my workbench back. It'd be nice to have a truck to go and get stuff from the lumber yard, or you know, get stuff from the junkyard, and not have to worry too much about, you know, messing up interior carpet. So I've been working on this a little bit on and off over the last few weeks. For the few of you that have been asking about what I'm doing with the dually, I'm working on it. It just isn't happening quick. I got 3 kids, man, and they're off all summer, and I'm old. Give me a break. So possibly sometime within the next 30 days, you'll be seeing a video of me driving this clapped out 1989 dually crew cab down the street and back, and I'll do a happy dance, and then we'll go from there. That's the longest relationship I've ever had in my life. I've had that for 20 years. Ain't no sense of getting rid of it now. You want to see more dually content? Comment in the comment section. Hammer away at the like button. If you don't, hammer away at the dislike button. I guess either way is okay with me. If you haven't subbed, I would appreciate it if you did that, and then click the bell icon right next to it so you'll be notified of future uploads. Share this video with the vast social media network if you're so inclined. And until next time, you have fun, stay safe, shoot straight, keep powder dry, and have a splendid day. Thanks for watching. See ya.